Hello and welcome back to part two with Syzor. Now we're going to be talking Syzor, the Scouse with the Nouse, my brother from another mother. Welcome back, Syzor. This is our chat about austerity, best and worst MPs, and what else we think of after. Again, I do have a disclaimer that everything we say is just opinion. This is just complete bullshit. So take anything you like with a bucket of salt. Styzer, introduce yourself.
I'm Syzor. Hello. I run the logical left, which I should probably update, but I haven't been able to because I'm a lazy get, and I've lost most of my links, so upload stuff. But whatever. Anyway, I run the logical left. I host normally um question time on a Thursdays. Everybody loves because you can only watch it in Britain, but I stream it live for people. And also I will be doing um PMQs from next week. I've got a new channel that's
Mm.
managed to sort out today, so I'll be doing it from there from now on. Since my other two channels are a bit bunk, which is called
Um,
Newswatch.
one thing that I want to do with someone, maybe if you're interested, is I really want to do a question time thing because
Sure.
I generally don't do PMQ because um Theresa May fails to understand the whole point of Prime
Question.
Minister's questions is that she's supposed to actually answer the questions, and she never answers the questions. She always drowns the whole thing in bullshit, and you're supposed to try and unpick an answer from it, and there is no answer. It's all bullshit. So it's really difficult. So I literally I don't watch it anymore. I watch like the see what questions that Jeremy Corbyn puts across, but I don't watch the whole hour, as it
Mm.
were. So
Well,
yeah, I
well,
don't do.
well, I do question times. I've only missed two of them so far, I think.
Mm,
I think two of them. So I
I,
will be
I, I,
doing them.
I do.
There's one on
Uh,
tomorrow.
yeah.
On tomorrow.
Um. I, I, I can't do it live with you, but I can do something on midday Friday.
Okay, you can do like a review of question time if you
Yeah,
want.
review a question time if you're up for that.
Yeah, that'll be fine with me. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, because I don't get home till like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and that's generally when it comes online. So because I get everything a day later here, obviously. Like
Exactly.
I mean, I'm relying on people like Vipi online, VIPI, and encourageable FCA, still encourageable FCA.
Yeah.
Those
I actually like the
people.
videos that they post. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good. And when you were talking about YouTube earlier, I thought it was really harsh. So especially encourageable FCA because he's just recording it for posterity.
Mm.
He's he's just like because it needs to be on digital record because then it'll be preserved. Later on, so then we can look back on it. And he's had to set up about 2-3 different channels to
Yeah, it
because he
gets loads
keeps
of
getting
copyright
copies,
strikes.
yeah, exactly. So he's got them running in circulation. So yeah, I think that's really fucking stupid of YouTube. But anyway, again, that's another matter. So austerity. I don't think there's going to be a lot for us debate on this one. But yeah, austerity is, as far as I'm concerned, it is an ideological move. It's not a move out of necessity. I mean, it's complete cod shit, about balancing the books and all that all that crap. It's yeah, it's complete bullshit. It is an
Ah,
ideological move.
I'm just gonna agree, really, and just say, yeah, it is. It's the worst idea ever to do to an economy because it's not like a family or anything.
Mm,
It's not like tightening your belts because technically countries don't need to tighten their belts.
yeah.
Although that's a myth in regards to if you look at the history of Britain,
Mm,
we've had debt to GDP ratio of over 260%.
yeah.
And the only way we got out of that stupid mess was to actually grow the economy. Now,
Mm,
I'll tell you the difference in how we got that deficit down is
mm.
we conquered the rest of the planet.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is true, right?
yeah.
But the same economics still apply. You grow
Mhm.
your economy. You don't shrink it through austerity. You don't.
That's the problem. And this is the point that Yanis Varoufakis kind of pulled up on. Well, no, sorry. It was
Mark
Blythe.
Blyth.
What's his name? Blythe.
Mark Blyth. Mark Blythe is my
Mark
favorite
Blythe. Yes, the
politician,
Scottish
economist.
economist. Yeah, who
He's from
actually teaches
Scotland
in
and he
America.
talks like that. He's from Scotland. He says, "Hey, you're wrong, mate." I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah," but he
he is good. I tried to read one of his books though, and it was a bit dense for me. He's a bit boring, mate.
no, just watch his lectures. They're a lot more,
Mm.
you know.
He's
But
a
the only
better lecturer than he is writer. I'll give
yeah,
you.
I
Yeah.
think that's because the way he is, like he's a lot more palatable
Mm.
when it comes to his lectures. I think if I read this book, I'd probably go with the same notion that it's a bit boring. But I think the people he's writing for isn't the people he lectures to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure, sure.
So I think there's probably a different vein or vanity in the book, a lot more detail, a lot more like preciseness and lots of guff. Whereas when he's doing his little lectures, he's like, "I'll just tell you what's going on, and I'm not gonna fuck
Mm.
around." You know what I mean? And that's a lot more. A lot of people go, "Wow, I've just learned economics in the past 30 minutes than I've ever learned in like 20 years growing up as a kid or whatever," which is true. It just
Yeah.
spells it out for you like we're getting shafted.
Mm.
Capitalism isn't a bad idea, but capitalism's a bad idea when it's
Well,
way
like
in favor of the fucking
let me
rich.
let me go spin back to Mark Blythe, and his idea was that you cannot have the situation that we had in 2008 2009, right, where we had the UK and the entire European bloc all saying, okay, we're going to introduce austerity all at the same time,
Same time.
right? I mean, the whole idea surely of a European community, um I know this is all complete bullshit compared to the last conversation, compared to part one of this conversation, but the whole
Well,
idea, like, if you
just
think back then, we got to think in the hysterical terms, historical terms. Back then, uh, every single country is introducing austerity, so that means they're not importing as much. So if they're not importing as much, who are they going to export to? So, like, the biggest export partners of the UK is Europe, and the biggest export partners of all of Europe is everybody else. Yeah, they're cutting imports. So what's going to happen? You're literally like shrinking the economy of the entire European bloc and the entire kind of UK. So it's not going to work, right? You rather than shrinking the economy of one country, you're shrinking the economy of an entire, well, basically a third of the, well, maybe more than that, maybe up to 50% of all imports and exports in the world. So that means it's going to drag the entire world down with them. That's no way to go. If you have to introduce austerity, then the whole point of being within a European Union, again, at the time, would have been to do it one country at a time. So UK would have a year of austerity, and then each country would take their turns. I know I'm just spitballing at this point, but you get the idea. You all can't introduce austerity at the same time. It makes no sense, because you do just shrink an economy. If you must introduce austerity, then you look at the countries again. Another lever you can pull is look at countries that have a deficit. Sorry, not a deficit, a surplus. Anybody who's got a trade surplus, then you cut down that.
Well, the only one who's got a surplus is Germany,
Yeah. This is a point that Yanis
and
Varoufakis makes in
Germany
his
could have
in his book.
Germany could
Yeah.
have bailed out Greece by itself
Oh
when
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like,
definitely.
nah, not
Yeah,
happening.
yeah. A point that Yanis Varoufakis makes actually in one of his books, the weak suffer what they must, the strong do what they will. I can't remember the exact time. I think that's about it.
I think that is it. Actually.
He says that in a true European community, not only should the countries with the trade deficit be penalized, but also the countries with a trade surplus, because a trade surplus on one country's side is always a trade deficit on the other side, how it balances out. Okay, so you should never have X amount of surplus or an X amount of deficit for any few years. And he says he works it out to be about 18 months to 2 years. If you have a massive surplus for X amount of time, then you should be punished as much as anybody who has a deficit for that amount of time. Yeah, and then support should be given to because it should have been a community, but I think maybe that's a bit too and I do agree with that. I think that's a brilliant thing to say, and it really says a lot for how left Yanis Varoufakis is, and yeah, it does make a lot of sense. I mean, why shouldn't like we could put this down to a local level, right? Why should people that suck up a lot of the resources not pay the taxes that are due? It's the same thing. It's the same thing, really. What any company's surplus is another person's deficit, surely.
Well, the problem, I mean, let's go back to austerity. The problem is that
this is talking about austerity indirectly.
No, I mean, like in terms of the government's policy is that it's just wrong. It's just you can't expect to grow the economy if you shrink the economy. I.e., like let's look at what Mark Blythe says. You've been quoting Farkas there. He's basically saying is when you do austerity, what you're basically doing is you slash the government, right? But what a government's there for to do, mainly its main purpose is to provide services to the poor.
Yep.
So what they're basically saying is we're going to slash all the services to the poor and make them pay for the very thing that the rich did. So not only did you bail out the banks, you're paying a gain through the cuts in services, which you're supposed to get because you pay taxes for. So this whole austerity thing is basically a big giant scam.
It is. It is. I mean,
because the rich are already rich, they don't suffer austerity.
Well, I'm sure back in 2008, 2009, it was sold. Okay, we're going to give the banks, what was it, 350 billion in quantitative easing.
No, that's the gift that they give that straight away. They've been doing it ever since.
It's been continuous. But it was sold
well over $1 trillion already.
Yeah, it was sold to us on the understanding that that money would then be invested in new industries, new enterprises that could then grow the economy thereafter, right? But the problem is when you give money to greedy bankers, is that a bit too harsh?
I wouldn't say all bankers are greedy. I would say the people who make money off other people's money are the greedy ones. I would say the actual normal bankers who do actual banking aren't. I would say hedge funds and shit like that are the greedy buggers. But to be fair, the way banking has been portrayed since at least the 70s, they've been at this shit as gambling basically with other people's money.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, it was the deregulation of the kind of the start of Reagan economics and the start of neoliberalism, which started at the end of the 70s, start of the 80s. It was fine for a while. I think when it really started going tits up was Clinton, when he repealed the Glass-Steagall Act. And the Glass-Steagall Act was really the final nail in the coffin, and that's when they started feeding a bubble. And the thing is, because people were making money off it for so long, it took 10 years, and then in 2008, it fucking burst, and that was because so many people have been enjoying money off it for so long. 10 years. I mean, if you were in at the beginning, you know, 7 years pass, 8 years pass, you're thinking, God, this is making us loads of money. Let's just keep going, keep going, keep going. And yeah, it just got absolutely stupid. The Glass-Steagall Act, I think, the repeal of the Glass-Steagall Act, I think,
and that was under that was under the Democrats.
Yes, it was. Yeah, yeah. Clinton was a Democrat. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. It was a Democrat, and well, let's if you think exactly how much difference between Clinton and Blair is there? Not a lot. If you look at their policies, well, you can take either Clinton, you know, either Hillary or the other guy, William,
Bob.
Bob, Bob Clinton.
Is that? I think his name actually is William.
Yeah, William Clinton.
They call him Bill for short, don't they?
Mm.
Yeah, because they used to call King Billy. His name was William.
Mm. Yeah, so whether it be William Clinton or Hillary, then yeah, there's very little between them and New Labour.
Well, that's the entire point of the whole neoliberal movement was to literally blag the left that they were doing something useful. And this is this whole globalization shit's a scam as well. Oh, globalization's good for you? No, it's not. We've lifted millions out of poverty. Fuck off! You could pay for all them to be out of poverty anyway. You soft swats. Now you just want to select
exactly.
Oh
my God! Thank God, someone else has said it. Thank God. Oh no! Sorry. Hang on. I wanna quote Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Yeah.
Jacob Rees-Mogg. There you go.
Hey, look. The poor are so much better now. The poor have shoes.
Woo! And no drinking water. They got drink water.
Oh, fuck off, mate. The poor have shoes. Fuck off. Honestly.
What a patronising fucking statement.
I know.
That's like saying you should be lucky all of the Swiss ask for more. Would be out in the streets.
Oh, it made like when I read that tweet, it fucking made me sick. Honestly, I was like, He really is a Dickensian twat, isn't he?
He's just a tosser. He lives in some alternate fucking universe. Clearly, we're not privy to.
He does.
Fucking nanny, for fuck's sake. He's never changed a nappy in his fucking life.
Okay, so
that's just wrong.
You cannot have poverty to the level that you have in the UK and it not starting to affect people in his like boroughs, right? His kind of boroughs. Okay. The thing is that he doesn't understand is that poverty is expensive. It is very expensive. It's expensive on the health service. It's expensive on the police service. It's expensive on social care services. It's expensive on all sorts of, you know, on education services. It's, you know, on every facet of society, poverty is expensive. And I'm not talking about absolute poverty. I'm talking about relative poverty, you know. So when you look at the inequality of the UK and how it's expanding, it really does increase in things like things that I didn't even know really before I did some research in this, and it increases things like obesity in young people. It increases stresses in middle-aged people, and much younger people as well. So, people in their 30s are suffering, heart attacks and shit like that. Just due to in-work poverty. What else? Teenage pregnancies. High alcoholism, so that puts a strain on the NHS and police services. And when you're looking at austerity, which are putting are strangling the funding on police, like things like police services and the NHS, it's we're reaching in the UK, we're reaching a situation where society is at breaking point.
Hold on a second. Sorry, go on. Can you just rephrase that, please, so I can just fucking actually reply? Because I was typing to some bint on Twitter.
Oh God! Don't be sexist, mate.
She's a bint. Fucker. Fucking post the fucking Daily Mail and then repass me. This is what she said as a reply. And yeah, it goes back to our earlier hangout, but we'll get back onto austerity, I promise. Because I said
Okay. No, hang on. Right. For the people that have just turned it, or that have just turned in, though I didn't see the previous post, please restate the question and then say the answer and reply, and then we can respond.
Oh, we got another viewer.
No, we don't have any viewers yet.
Oh,
but
fuck's sake. I thought you were talking to the viewer. Anyway, my point is some bint said, and this is from the Daily Mail of all newspapers.
Right.
Backlash in Labour's key northern strongholds as Jeremy Corbyn endorses staying in the customs union with the EU. That's factually not true, for a start. Second of all, I don't think this Sally Presto liked my answer. I want the Tories out, and if a customs union of some sort gets them out, so be it. And I said to her also, I don't think the Tory party understand people are more pissed at domestic issues than Brexit right now.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, I think that's right. And again, you can go back to the last election, and it's up there in spades. You can.
Brexit's interesting, but please, come on. Austerity, which is our subject, is way more damaging to the Tory.
Definitely.
And they just let it fly under the radar to their own stupidity.
The NHS had the best winter, the worst winter ever, and
according to the Tories, they was well prepared for it.
Fuck off, mate.
Okay.
This is the thing. This was the point that was pulled up on Kev's and JJ's post earlier. It would be really nice if there was a fact checker next to John Burkrow. And because the thing is, there are rules during PMQs, right? You're not allowed to call another person in the House of Commons a liar. So it's very difficult because this is why I've given up watching it. Is because Theresa May fucking lies week after week after week. We've prepared for this, we've done this, we've given them much more funding or whatever. And can you say Captain Swiss his quote earlier about the Freddo?
Oh yeah, he said. What did he say?
God. I thought it was brilliant. Honestly, I laughed my ass off. Like,
what did he say? He said, "I've got something about expenditure or something."
Yeah, I've put more expenditure into my Freddos in the last week than I have in the last 10 years or something.
Yeah, something like no. He said something like I've got He said something about like expenditure, like I've got. Basically, he was saying, I've got lots of free cash. I've got lots of free cash if I spend it on a fucking Freddo. And I was like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like,
but yeah, I mean, it's absolute bullshit. I mean, it like our population is expanding in the UK, so yes, that needs more money. People are living older. Yes, that needs more money. You know,
But the government has plenty of
new
it.
technologies, they need more money. New breakthroughs, new research and development into drugs and research. Yes, that needs more money. Of course, it takes more money, but you know, you're helping people live um, uh, a workable, i.e., productive life, you know, and that will just generate more tax income, surely, you know. So to starve these things, these services from money is completely kind of shooting yourself
Well,
in the foot.
here's one idea, right? Here's one idea that I've got. If you go to the dole, right, and you say, look, I'm not really fit for work, right,
Mhm.
but I'll do like 3 days volunteering every week,
Yeah,
something,
yeah,
not strenuous, but I'll volunteer. I'll do something productive in the community. It doesn't
mm,
matter what it is. Go and fucking entertain old people at an old people's home. Go and
yeah,
speak to them just as fucking a normal person.
mm,
Help out a food bank. Do
mm.
something. I think the government should just give you your fucking cash.
Yeah, fucking right.
Because at the end of
I
the day,
completely agree. Yeah.
wouldn't it be better to have some productivity than zero productivity?
Mm.
And they still get to still live in a house, do what they want. And then even then they could go, well, you know what? They could interact with people, network, and then probably get a job through networking and then get paid. Because you know what?
Mm.
You'll find most people who volunteer actually get jobs where they volunteer eventually.
Mm. Yeah, run a youth center. You know, if you got a certain skill, if you're particularly good at football or basketball or something,
Like me,
go to a youth group.
like me. If I literally had, if someone paid me, I could literally teach kids computers in the sense of
Mm.
like
Yeah.
art, because
Mm.
that's what I'm good at. I can teach them Photoshop. I know that's not the best thing in like life skills, but some kids might go, "Oh, I like art. I want to learn some arty
Shut
stuff."
up, mate. I've got a degree in that shit, so don't
Yeah.
don't slag off
Well,
art.
hey,
Look,
I'm a
dude.
games designer. I'm just saying this. I could put my skills to use
Yeah,
in
yeah,
regards like
definitely.
to teach it, not teaching like people who are like want to get into the game industry.
Wait,
I mean, I
could you
could,
teach someone how to
I could,
mod, for
huh?
instance? Mod,
Pardon?
mod.
I couldn't teach them how to mod. No, I couldn't teach modern. I could teach them how to build the mods themselves in regards to the actual assets, because that's what I focused on. I
Oh,
wanted,
cool,
well,
cool.
my ambition, even though it's far away. But my ambition, my dream is to do special effects in the movie industry,
Oh,
or just
sweet.
special effects in general.
Nice.
But I could teach. I know a lot about graphics and stuff. I've been doing it since I was like 15. Um,
Mm,
Never had a job in it, even though I would love to. My jobs have consisted of just low rent jobs, basically like cleaner, um, shop work, that kind of shit. So I've never done. I used to work for a charity,
mm.
so I've never done anything spectacular.
Well,
Used to work in a
this is a thing that
phone place.
fucking what's his name? ODS. Um, this is the thing that ODS didn't kind of
IDS,
understand.
you mean?
IDS, sorry, yeah.
Ian Duncan
In
Smith.
Duncan Smith,
That's it.
yeah. This thing when he brought out workfare that he didn't understand is that although people were claiming um I'm not going to use the word benefits. We need to change this word benefits. We're going to change it to social security. Okay. So just because people were claiming social security didn't mean they weren't productive people in society. So a few of my friends were actually, volunteering in places like Oxfam and doing youth council projects and stuff like that. But because they weren't earning, they couldn't they tried to claim, but IDS brought in new rules that said you should be looking 35 hours a week for a job,
That
right?
is
And
a
if
job.
well, yeah, exactly right. It is a job, um, and because when they said, "Oh, okay, no, I'm doing this youth support work, or I'm working in this."
Oh
Uh,
no, that's not a job. That's not a job.
no,
No.
it's not. No. You should what we're going to do is we're going to put you on a workfare program where you're going to work in Poundland, right?
For
Poundland is
free.
one of the biggest work for free, but we're still going to give you your JSA. Okay, so I'm going to do 35 hours a week for Poundland, but I'm going to get paid, you know,
For all.
my JSA, which is 72 quid a week. Is that right?
Yeah, it's well, I don't know. I'm not in
Yeah,
JSA, but
more or
I,
less.
I'm not. I'm literally not on anything. I'm
Yeah.
literally like I don't get any money from the government. I'm lucky, I suppose, but I can say that a lot of people ain't. If you know what
Fucking
I mean.
hell. Like
I
anyway,
would be. I would
yeah,
I'd advise to
let's
be on
step outside the personal, but that's a bullshit. That's a bullshit situation. You know,
that. Of course it is.
in one thing you're being, you know, you're being exploited by the government and Poundland, but on the other side, you know, if you're doing, you know, youth projects or whatever, you know, you're helping, especially the
The
worst
community.
kids in communities, you know, actually stop them from getting into drugs, stop them from, you know, joining gangs or being radicalized, especially if you're in a BMA kind of society. You know, these people that are doing these youth culture works, they're very important to society. You know, I mean, they should get more government grants, but of course, these are seen as luxuries. Hence, you see, you know, youth centers being closed, libraries being closed. You know, these things are the first things to get the chop in austerity times, and it breaks my heart, mate. It really does. As an artist, I am an artist, and it does it really breaks my heart.
Yes. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I would love to, do something like that.
Mm,
Sadly, like I can't afford to, and there's
mm,
no way for me to actually do it. There was a place that I could have done it, but they closed it down. It was an art gallery that I used to actually volunteer for.
mm,
And the only reason why I ended up volunteering for it is because I knew a person there, and because I did art a long time ago, like I used to do canvases and stuff.
cool,
Um,
man.
I was supposed to show off some of my art because I do really strange art about me. But whatever. Um, they was gonna ask me as a local artist to show off some of my stuff and shit like that.
Mm,
But I didn't have any in regards to because they're like, "Where's your portfolio?" I was like, "Well, I haven't got one." Said, "Well, the bits that I did have got burnt down in a building, so that's not really
mm,
my fault." Um, kind of thing. Um, but I was supposed to do it there, and I was like, "Well, whatever. I'm not really asked, but I'll volunteer and just stick around, see what happens."
mm.
I'll
Yeah.
get some ideas because you're walking around the gallery, and it was kind of inspiring as well for me to get back into doing artisty shit.
It does inspire you. I love gallery
Art
spaces.
galleries are nice.
Yeah.
I met really cool
I
style as
I
well.
studied art in Swansea in Wales. Big up Swansea. Um, and they they have some wicked like the Glenvivian and the Mission and some really nice gallery spaces. Um, and on opening nights and stuff, you get to meet the artists and, you know, have a few glass of wine, and you know, it's good to just chill out and see some good stuff. I wasn't really into the fine art stuff, more into the
I like abstract shit.
political kind of progressive stuff. But you know, it's whatever, you know, it's the contemporary art. But yeah, um do you have any final thoughts? Do you want to move on to final thoughts on austerity before
Yeah,
we
I would just say, in the words of Mark Blythe, austerity is a bad idea. That's what I would say. My final thought. To quote an actual.
yeah, austerity is an ideological choice as far as the Tories are concerned, and
Not a necessity.
not a necessity. I think the biggest thing is you cannot cut yourself to prosperity. You can only invest
grow.
your
You can only
way to
grow. Yeah, you can only
prosperity.
grow. Austerity.
That's right. Okay. One I've been looking forward to actually is
The ganj. Sorry, what you going to
do
say?
you want to do Ganj
No, go
or
on.
best
No,
and worst
what?
MPs?
Oh no, let's do best and worst, then we'll get to the ganj.
Okay. Right, we're gonna have to leave Jeremy Corbyn out of this. Okay.
Of course, of course.
Okay. So favorite Tory MP?
At the moment,
Mm,
Anna Soubry for the lulz.
yes.
For the
I'll
lulz.
agree with. I've been a fan of Anna Soubry for a little bit. Ever since the election, actually, because
She was the only one
she
who mentioned the whole racism in the Tory party thing, actually, which is quite interesting.
um she she was at the end of the election, and it was about 3 o'clock UK time. So it must have been about it was about midday, 1 o'clock here. She was basically calling for Theresa May's head.
Yeah, she
And
said
I
she
thought
was.
I just laughed, mate.
She's
I
shit.
thought it was funny as fuck.
Yeah, love that. So yeah, I would say favorite Tory right now, even though people won't believe that, is definitely Anna Soubry for me
Yeah,
by a long shot.
she's been shit at any position she's ever done though. Like she was defense secretary, I think, for a
Crap.
bit,
That's what I'm
and
saying.
she,
I don't agree with it or anything like that. Just, I mean, I literally
yeah,
said for the lulz. It's not like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I don't want
totally.
it anywhere near the
Okay,
front bench or anything.
here's an interesting one, right? Again, we're going to keep Theresa May out of this. Worst Tory MP then.
Some Welsh, he's not Welsh, he's Scottish, and I can't remember his name. He's a Scottish MP,
Look it
and
up
he's
quick. Look it up.
no, he's only just been done. I can't remember his name because they've got like 13 of them. Um, I just don't like him. He's a fucking Tory.
Who the
Scottish.
fuck? No, no. Honestly, here's a question for you.
Terrible.
If you're Scottish, what part of you would ever vote Tory? I don't.
Unionist.
I don't
Unionist.
understand this. Like, if I'm Scottish, I understand the difference between Labour and SNP. Right, I can understand the jump. Right, totally, 100%. Right. Because the SNP, although they're a nationalist party, they are quite left, aren't
Well,
they?
the more left than the fucking Labour Party was. That's why they all fucking jumped over to the SNP.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah, they
point.
were.
Yeah.
They were in 2015.
Sh-
Granted,
For
granted.
sure.
I totally understand that jump. But who the fuck jumps from the SNP to the Tory party in 2017? Because they,
All the people who were the unionists because of Brexit. You know, it's just that's what I'm saying. That's
you
the
think
elephant in the room. It won't be like that soon, hopefully. We,
it's going to be a fucking shitstorm. Like, if the Tories get their way, then there will be no Great Britain.
this is gonna last 10 years,
It
if
is.
that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
At least it's gonna be our daily news for at least 10 years now.
Mm.
Until yeah, 10 years. Fuck, I'm not even gonna get into detail. 10 years.
I think if there is a general election soon, and Jeremy Corbyn's Labour gets into power, this year, next year, it's going to happen before 2022. I can see the government collapsing before then. Definitely. If it does happen, probably next year, more than
It
likely.
has to happen either this year, late this year,
Either
or
late this
early
year,
next
yeah.
year.
So we're probably looking October, November this year, or April, May next year. Just because of the growth figures and everything else comes out then. So if we do have a Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party sooner rather than later, I don't think we'll be talking about Brexit for 10 years. I think it'll be used as a bat to hit the Labour Party over with by the right wing press, but hopefully You know, I mean, we'll have the BBC on our side by that time. So, yeah.
I think if Labour get in, it'll be less hassle than it would be if the Tories got in.
Oh, fucking right. Oh, mate, by magnitudes, absolute
Because if
fucking
I'll
magnitude.
give you this right, if Labour were in power, when the whole Brexit madness happened,
Yeah.
they would have from day one said all the people in the EU got rights. Done that wouldn't have been an issue. It was an issue for 8 months with the stupid fucking
I think,
Tories.
yeah, that's because they wanted
Wasted
to, like, because they don't,
so much time.
mate, this is what done my head in, right? They were using it as a card, mate. They tried to use it as an ace in the hole, right? They didn't give a fuck. They really didn't give a fuck about the EU nationals here, and they didn't give a fuck about the UK nationals abroad, right? They just didn't give a fuck. They wanted to use it as a negotiating card, and that's what fucking blow. And it tells you exactly what footing that they wanted to go in for, right? And that is treating the UK public with contempt, absolute contempt, and it makes me fucking angry, really fucking angry to do that. You know how
Because that's
rude you have to be. Millions of people just literally
it's a
left,
race
just a
bait as well, isn't
card.
it? It's a race bait as well. It's
Yeah,
something
exactly right. Yeah.
like I think JJ said this. It's the dog whistle,
Mm,
you know.
yeah. Dog whistle politics. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fucking. Ugh. I can't stand the Tories, man. Really can't stand them.
Yeah. Anyway, moving
Sorry.
on. Worst Tory. You're not allowed to choose Theresa May. Well, Theresa May is
Why?
just a mere
All right.
puppet.
Okay.
So
One that we can name. One that we can name.
okay. Can I?
One that we can name.
Not
Let's
Bo.
not.
Yeah, okay. No,
Yeah,
no
not random.
Bojo. No Jacob Rees-Mogg either. Sorry,
Um.
I need
Well,
to.
actually, well, he's not my most. Okay, Jeremy fucking Hunt. There you go. Fucking.
Okay. Okay, you're not allowed to choose him as well because it's too
No,
obvious.
fuck off. That's unfair. Then we'll run out of Tories. What are you talking about?
No. I've got one, and like you'd go, oh god, him really? Yeah, I've
Damien
got one.
Green. Damien Green.
Nope. Keep going. Worse than
Fanny.
him. He's this guy. This guy is going to be a shark, and he could quite possibly
Michael
go in.
Gove.
Oh no, fuck off. Not Pob. No.
Who then? Well, yeah, everyone I fucking mentioned keeps saying I can't have them. It's my fucking choice. I like democracy. Fuck you. Fucking get it done.
Oi, it's my
It's a
fucking channel. Oi,
I
it's my
don't give a
fucking channel.
fuck.
My channel
No,
is a
I don't
fucking
care.
dictatorship.
Jeremy fucking.
Dominic Raab.
Dominic Rob. Oh no, he's a cunt as well.
See, I
Fine.
fucking knew.
Fine.
Okay.
He's a twat.
Oh mate, he's if you boil down like all of the worst Tories that you can think of, right? And if you boil down all their shit, all their piss and everything else, and that cream that rises up to the top, scraped it off, that is Dominic Raab, right? He's the worst of the worst. I've never seen such a vile person. Apart from like Hunt, right? Jeremy Hunt. I don't think he understands what damage he's doing to the NHS, right? I honestly like. I don't think it registers.
No, the thing is, I think he does. I think he does know what he's doing. The slimy little bastard.
Yeah, maybe. See, well, maybe Rob is the other side then. Maybe Rob is the stupid one. Yeah, I think Rob is the stupid one. Like you know, like when he says something like, "I'll go into food banks as a choice," you know, it's just like what the fuck, mate? It's never a choice. I've been in those queues. I've been in those queues where you know you phone up for a fucking loan, for an emergency loan from the DSS, or the Department of uh, Department of Work and Pensions, DWP, and like been in that queue with the shell suited valley terrorists from, you know. Anyway,
Mm.
I've
Yeah.
and it is quite degrading, you know, and nobody wants to be in those queues, right?
Mm.
And it's nasty. I mean, I was homeless for 3 months at one point. I slept rough for 3 months. I'm so lucky it just happened to be in the summer months. I feel really sorry. Like, um, you know,
That is rough.
it's fucking rough. But yeah, Dominic Raab
He's a cunt.
is he's one of the Tories. You know, we're gonna go to our favorite. We're gonna go to Labour in a second, but you'll agree with me. In one of our favorite Labour politicians is Laura Pidcock, right?
Yeah, she is because she's just down to earth. She's not like a complete cunt,
Well,
and she just says what she means.
when yeah, when she talks about Tory MPs, right? And she says that I really think they resent the poor, and they really think that if they had been in the same position, they would have made different decisions. Therefore, they wouldn't be poor.
Mm.
She is referring to politicians like Dominic Raab, right? I mean, he is the entire antithesis of what she is saying, and he is, oh god, he is, oh, he's awful, absolutely awful, and he makes no bones about it either. He's completely upfront about it. You know, at least Bojo, Gove, Hunt, and David Davis, and who was the one that got caught with loads of porn on his
That
PC?
was what's his name? David Greeling,
David Greening, yeah,
Damien Greeling, I think his
Damien
name was.
Greening, yeah. Um,
Look,
at least
Paul.
these politicians have a slim veneer of, you know, or perhaps we might care for the poor a little bit, you know. And these policies we're bringing in, will help you because, you know, they'll help you get back into it. These guys have a slim veneer, but like Dominic Raab is just the most evil Tory I've ever seen on TV in my life. In my life. Like oh, you do know who I mean, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like look at some of the shit he was saying in the fucking, oh, there's another one that just sprang to mind. It's a woman. She was
There's
on
many.
she was on Peston. I think it was last Sunday. What's her name?
Wasn't Pretty Patel, was it? She's a bitch.
Oh, she can fuck off. Yeah, she's one of them that's up there as well. But no, worse than her. She was on the Today program, Radio 4, and she made a slur about Jeremy Corbyn and the Czech files, and it wasn't picked up by the interviewer, and I thought it was really bad. She's got she looks a bit like the woman from the DUP, but it's not. Who? Oh God!
I know you talk about I know the DUP bird is. Oh,
But it looks a
fucking
bit like her. She's just a bit
the
from.
Irish bird.
It's not her though.
No,
It's
I know, but I'm trying to think of her name now because that's fucking pissing
who
me off.
was on Peston last weekend.
I don't know. I don't really watch Pestons, to be fair. He does me tits
I,
and he
I
took
know. I
took
just read his book.
he took allocution lessons to sound like that.
I know he
It's
did.
just a bit
Yeah,
annoying.
I read his book, man.
Yeah. And he talks like I was like, oh fucking shut up, Preston, you twat. Stop shit.
He's like it a quick nutshell reviews book. Is this not bad? Like, it was only released quite recently. It's not bad. He just lacks some fucking opinion. I would love it if he
Who,
actually gave
Peston?
some opinion. Yeah. I read his book.
Nah, he's a sniveling little shit. I don't like him at all. He's just
Uh,
stop shite.
what was the date on Sunday? It was the 28th,
Um,
27th, 27th,
no, it's the 27th today, 28th today. It was the
25th.
25th. Yes, technically 26, wasn't it? Hold on, let me check.
25th.
Yeah, 25th. Sorry, get my maths mixed up. Yeah, 25th.
Blah 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 blah. 11th February. What's that for? 4th of February, 25th of February. Blah blah blah. Latest. Who's on there? Just tell me who the fuck is on there.
Good luck.
Anyway, I'm gonna find this stupid woman. Anyway, yeah, okay. Oh, so worst. Okay, so
Chucker Amuna.
Labor, worst Labor.
Chucker Amuna. I
Chucker,
dislike.
I've never been on a bus in my life.
I
Moona,
I dislike him immensely.
have you ever met someone that
Just a Blairite.
pissed on his roots? Like,
Yeah.
honestly,
He's just a horrible little man. I
yeah.
mean, that's the only way I can describe him. He's fake. Fake, 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 fake.
You know, it's he wanted to go leader of the Labour Party, right? And I wish he would have, because then maybe he would have got a lower score than Liz Kendall. Like, and Liz Kendall is one of my
Why did he back
fixtures.
out of the Labour race? And don't tell me it's because of its family.
Oh, fuck off! No,
I bet he's gay.
no.
He
Well,
is.
yeah, he is gay,
Depends.
but it doesn't. It shouldn't
Depends.
make any difference. If
No,
we
but
had, if
no,
we
he
had a
just didn't want
gay
everyone
black
to
leader,
know.
fuck me. I think that'd be
No,
brilliant.
give me. I'd rather have Clive Lewis any day, do we? I'm not really a big fan of him, but I'd still rather have fucking Clive Lewis.
Is he gay?
Clive Lewis? Nah. His best mate's gay though, which is little Owen Jones from The Guardian.
Oh, yeah, of course I know he's gay. And
Owen
no, to be fair, I think it helps their analysis. Um, uh,
Fisher's
Chika Amuna.
he's
Yeah, I think if he'd have been a proper lefty rather than a Blairite, and he gave the message of Corbyn, or actually challenged Corbyn on a lefty stance rather than a centrist Blairite stance, which is all the other people did. Literally everybody else did. Then I think he would have stood a chance. Because he's young, he's quite charismatic. He's quite well groomed, which probably tells me he is a bit gay. So this is really bad.
it's not bad. I just think he's got something to hide. It might be worse. He might be a drug dealer, I don't know what the fuck he is.
He would never
But
be a drug dealer. No, he's far too posh to be a drug dealer.
he pulled out of something, and for some nefarious reason.
Do you reckon? Yeah, but yeah.
Don't start saying it's my family. You fucking knew that already, you dozy twat. There's someone he knows said, "Don't you dare," because, or
He
he
did
was
pull
like,
out right at the last minute, didn't he?
yeah, no, he pulled up because he knew that all the shit was going to come piling on his head.
But to be a politician, I mean, you heard what happened with that guy that stole Clegg's seat. Not stole it, actually won it fair and square with a decent majority. He got fucking shafted, didn't he? Like, it was, what was it, 10 years ago? He said some homophobic shit on Twitter and Facebook, and
No,
he's
it wasn't
still
homophobic. It
suspended.
was apparently anti-Semitic.
I heard he was homophobic.
Mm.
That's what I
Ken
heard.
Livingstone?
No, not Ken Livingstone. No,
Oh,
no,
I
no,
thought you
no,
meant
no.
Ken
The
Livingstone.
young guy that stole Nick Clegg's seat.
Oh no, yeah, he was. He definitely is. He fucking put it on Twitter. I don't
Yeah,
agree with it, but he did put it on Twitter, so
yeah,
we
but it
can't
was
really.
like 8 years ago or something. It was something pretty.
I mean, people say weird shit anyway. That's not acceptable today. I say shit that like I hate saying the word faggot because I've got gay friends, and in them days, you know, you'd say you faggot because you didn't mean you're gay. It just meant like, well, I suppose it did. The underlying tone of it was, you take it in the ass. But then when you grow up and you're giving it to birds in the ass, you can understand growing up, I suppose, shall we say. Let's just leave it at that.
Mate,
you know.
mate, there's a JCB out back, mate. You can carry a bigot if you like. Fucking hell.
Just saying.
Just
So yeah, I mean,
hashtag. Just saying.
just saying.
If you didn't listen to the disclaimer at the beginning, everything you listen to is complete bullshit.
Yeah, it's not our
Um,
opinion; it's somebody else's.
yeah, totally. So anyway, oh God, this it's not
So,
Ruth
so we did
Davidson because
best.
she's the Scottish one, isn't
Yeah,
she? Ruth Davidson is the Scottish one.
yeah. She's a Scottish MP. Let's not do the whole United Kingdom, but the best and worst Labour Party. My favourite's Mrs. Piddock. My
Yes.
worst is Sugar Moolah. There we go. There's
Okay.
my.
My favorite. It's very difficult to get past Laura Piddock.
And she's only new as well.
I do like Long Bailey. Oh, did you see her on the Today program?
Who?
Uh, uh, of something Long Bailey.
Oh,
Um,
Rebecca Long
Rebecca
Bailey.
Long Bailey.
Yeah,
And you
she's not
know
too
that.
bad.
Did you?
She's a little terrier there though. She's a little
Oh,
terrier. She's
she
not an
is.
actress.
She actually is. Um,
She looks all
you
cute
know
because
the.
she's about 3 foot high,
Mm.
but she's a little kind of like
She,
yeah, you go
you
girl.
know the woman that does the politics today or lunchtime politics or whatever it
Yeah,
is on the
daily
BBC.
politics.
Yeah, Daily.
Joe Coburn, I think her name is.
Yeah. She
Joe Coburn.
really wasn't taking any shit from her, man. It was really good to watch. Really, really great. She was via video link after the Jeremy Corbyn speech, and honestly, it was really quite nice because Joe Coburn is quite she she's very direct and she's quite hard to deal with if you're not prepared for her.
Mm.
Um,
That's
and
because she's not asked.
yeah,
Like she.
yeah. So I thought she dealt quite well with her. But yeah, Pidcock, she needs to be rolled out.
Yeah.
Another favorite of mine, especially during the election period, would be Barry Gardner.
Nah.
Really, he's like our Jacob Rees-Mogg. Like
I don't like him. He's
really.
let's say you kind of fella. Not my cup of tea.
I
He's
love
all
him.
right, but I tell you, who do actually like John McDonnell because he's Scouse.
Oh, everybody loves
I'm
John
biased.
McDonald. Like
I'm biased.
everybody wants John McDonald to be, your friendly little uncle. Your friendly socialist Marxist uncle. you know. So yeah, everybody loves John McDonald. That's a no-brainer. Who else? Who else? Hmm. Who's Shadow Foreign Secretary?
Shut up,
Who?
Foreign Secretary.
Yeah. Jeremy Corbyn got a fistful of boob with a crappy high five. What's her name?
Oh, fucking. Oh, I know. She's the fat one. Ugh.
Dude,
I know, but she's fat. I'm just
dude.
trying to remind myself. She's fat. She's got a weird hairstyle. Emily Thornberry. There we go.
Emily Thornberry.
Sorry
Yeah.
about. I'm just trying to remind my brain how to actually remember shit. So I had to say fat and weird hairstyle, and then I remembered Emily Thornberry.
Emily Thornberry. Yeah, she was on
She's actually
Question
quite good
Time.
at doing. She's
She's
actually quite good
very
at
good
doing
at
splash moves.
politicking. She's very good.
She's
She's
not good
very
at question
honest.
time. She always fails at question time for me.
PMQ. She's very good. Sorry,
Yeah, but
that
not
was
at
wrong.
question time. She always fucks it up on question time.
Yeah. Who else? Oh yeah, one of my worst. Liz fucking Kendall.
No, I hate her as well. She's Chuck E. Muniz white bitch.
Like,
Just saying. If any two people would have sex in that fucking it'd be them two. Oh, come here, Chuck, darling. Hump, 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 hump.
her and Chucker might as well, with Salisbury, might as well fuck
You'd
off
have a
to the
mix.
Lib Dems.
You'd have a mixed race Tony Blair if them two had fucking sex.
Tony
Just saying.
Blair's bastard love child, mate.
Yeah, that's
Or a
exactly what it would
Blairite bastard love child.
be. No, it would be Tony Blair's fucking adopted mixed race kid or something. You're just wrong. Just wrong. Anyway, I've got to go soon, so shall we wrap it up? I've got to
Yes.
go make something to eat and take my pills. Well, pill. Not a pills, pill.
Yep. Let's wrap it up. Rack it up.
Wrap it up.
Okay.
But it's been good for your first two.
Yeah.
You'll get more people eventually. And when we do, well, when I do hangouts, I'll make sure people fly over to this one. So
Yeah, we'll link it up. It seems that everybody's kind of. I think we're getting a massive community going now. So, yeah, I think this
more
is
the merrier. More the
yeah.
merrier.
The more the merrier. Exactly right. Let's just get everybody tuned in.
But the more people who stream, the more likely someone's going to catch a left wing stream, and that's only good for us. And then we can
how
engage
long?
more
How
with
long
the
is it going to take you to take your pills and sort something out? Because there's one other issue I want to talk to you about.
Well,
Actually,
like right now, or do you want to do another stream later on? Are you in any rush tonight or
oh
anything?
no, I've got a day off tomorrow, so I'm all good. We got a bank holiday, so
All right then.
I'm
Well, would you fancy doing a normal hang later on? Then we can get the message out to people. I'm pretty sure the other guys would like to jump in other than me, and we can have
yeah, sure. What I wanted to talk about is the Cade and JJ conversation, because he like Cade,
Well,
although
can
he's
I
a young
watch that
kid.
then? Is it all right if
Okay, yeah.
I've got it loaded. I've got it loaded up.
You don't have to watch much of it to get the impression, but
I watched the first 5 minutes. I didn't know where it's going, but you know.
yeah, watch what you can, and I'll be up as late as I can. But
I won't be too long. I'll give my slight first impression. He seems a bit naive. Poor kid.
yes, yeah,
As
incredibly
soon as
so.
yeah, because he said I don't. He said it doesn't sound like to him working class, and I was like, you haven't got a job.
Yeah, you don't have a job. You haven't. He does have a job, but he doesn't. He hasn't
Not
moved
like
out
in
of
the way that
home.
not
But
like in that way.
anyway, we'll wrap this up here. Thank you, anybody that watched this. Like, subscribe, post it, share it.
Hate it even.
Hate it,
As long
yeah,
as you engage.
please, yeah, especially Styles' dodgy sexist comments, you bastard. Thank you.
Never. I never do anything like that.
I'm gonna stop the broadcast now. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.